Respected tech CEO Dario A well-known and respected tech CEO, Dario Amodei, who heads a cutting-edge AI company called Anthropic, is raising alarms tonight about AI's potential impact on employment that could soon be felt. While he says AI can lead to incredible advancements like medical breakthroughs and boost the economy, he believes it could also lead to half of entry-level white-collar jobs disappearing and 10 to 20% unemployment in the next 1 to 5 years. It's something that's been talked about within tech circles for a while, but rarely so starkly and so publicly. I spoke to him just before air about that and other implications he thinks AI may have on society. Dario, you've said that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20%. How soon might that happen?
Well, let's, well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. But just to back up a little bit, I've been building AI for over a decade. And I think maybe the most salient feature of the technology and what is driving all of this is how fast the technology is getting better. A couple of years ago, you could say that AI models were maybe as good as a smart high school student. I would say that now they're as good as a smart college student and sort of reaching past that. I really worry, particularly at the entry level, that the AI models are very much at the center of what an entry-level human worker would do. And so it's hard to estimate, exactly what the impact would be. And there's always this question of adaptation. And these technology changes have happened before, but I think what is striking to me about this AI boom is that it's bigger and it's broader and it's moving faster than anything has before. And so compared to previous technology changes, I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact simply because it's happening so fast that yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough. And so there may be an adjustment period.
All right, so listen, I'm not here trying to make this into like this doom and gloom video, not at all, not the intent, but I really feel these conversations need to be held a lot more often, right? I don't hear much talk about this from mainstream news. Obviously, we're watching CNN, but it's not much talk. It's not really breaking news stories or whatnot about this title. AI company CEO issues warning about mass unemployment. That's a big deal. That's someone's livelihood. A lot of these white-collar jobs, mainly entry-level, are going to go bye-bye because of machines, automation, artificial intelligence. Not trying to scare you, but at least be aware that this is the future. Right here in this video, let's keep going.
You are running an incredibly important company in AI, and you know this better than anybody, or as well as all the names we know, people, Sam Altman and others who are working, Elon Musk and AI.
Crazy.
Why are you raising the alarm? Because it's not necessarily, I would think, in your best interest, because a lot of the messages we hear from, at least publicly, from some AI CEOs and stuff is a little bit more calming, like these agents are going to be great in your life, and yes, there may be problems, but writ large, this is a fantastic thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I'm raising the alarm is that I think others haven't as much, and
right.
I think someone needs to say it. To be clear, and I recognize it's always a difficult balance, right? I'm aware of my position that I'm building this technology while also expressing concerns about it, and the reason I'm doing both of those things is one, I think the benefits are massive, and we need to find a way to achieve the benefits and mitigate or prevent the harms. And the second thing I would say is, look, there are, as you mentioned, 6 or 7 companies in the U.S. building this technology, right? If we stop doing it tomorrow, the rest would continue. If all of us somehow stopped doing it tomorrow, then China would just beat us. And I don't think China winning in this technology is, I don't think that helps anyone or makes the situation any better.
I do want to read something that Sam Altman, your former boss at OpenAI, said in September. He was saying that AI can cause significant, in his words, significant change in labor markets, good and bad. He went on to say that most jobs will change more slowly than most people think. And then he said this, and I want to just read it word for word. He said, many of the jobs we do today would have looked like trifling wastes of time to people a few hundred years ago. But nobody is looking back at the past wishing they were a lamplighter. If a lamplighter could see the world today, he would think the prosperity all around him was unimaginable. And if we could fast forward 100 years from today, the prosperity all around us would feel just as unimaginable. For younger people, I should say lamplighters was actually a job. People went around lighting lamps on the streets. I think a lot of people may not even know what a lamplighter is. But do you think Sam Altman is wrong?
Yeah, so, I think there are some things I agree with about that, and then there are some things that I think are too optimistic. So, I definitely agree that, AI, if we succeed at it, can grow the pie greatly, right? I wouldn't be surprised if economic growth is much higher than it is today as a macroscopic phenomenon, right? That AI allows society as a whole to be more productive. So
let me just say, because you've
hold on. So listen, if I were you, right, and you are a young person fresh out of high school or college, if I were you right now, and this is coming from a 41-year-old man, right? If I were you in today's world, what I'll be focused on is how to build my own operations to earn me revenue. Okay? Easier said than done. I get it. It's not easy, but that right there should be the mindset moving forward. I cannot see how someone is going to get a job and hope to God they keep this job for 10, 20 years and nothing happens in terms of that job being gone. For whatever reason, maybe you just got laid off, fired, or you just quit. To rely on that one stream of income, to me, is a very dangerous place to be in. So, again, easier said than done, but if I were you, I would focus or have that kind of mindset of starting my own operations, basically your own stream of income, multiple, and move forward just kind of move forward at that point. I hope I made sense when I just said that. I just cannot understand why people are still working one job and hoping to retire from these jobs in today's world. It's becoming so, I don't want to say irrelevant, but it's becoming almost like a dream, right? This is not 50 years ago. You can work at one job and it could pay for your whole livelihood, your house, your children, their college tuition or funds, your marriage if you're married, children. I mean, this is the whole new world right now, man. So again, that's what I'll be doing if I were you. If I were in my 20s, fresh out of high school or college, focus on building your own operations. Let's go.
Previously in the past said you've described a future where cancer is cured, the economy grows at 10% a year, the budget is balanced, and 20% of people don't have jobs.
That's exactly what I was getting to, right? Where I agree with all the positive potential. I think that isn't wrong. But I think the quote you just flashed is maybe too optimistic, maybe too sanguine about the ability for people to adapt. People have adapted to past technological changes, but I'll say again, everyone I've talked to has said this technological change looks different. It looks faster. It looks harder to adapt to. It's broader. The pace of progress keeps catching people off guard. And so I don't know exactly how fast the job concerns are going to come. I don't know how fast people are going to adapt. It's possible it'll all be okay, but I think that's too sanguine an approach. I think we do need to be raising the alarm. Mm-hmm. I think we do need to be concerned about it. I think policymakers do need to worry about it. If they do worry and they do act, then maybe we can prevent it. But we're not going to prevent it just by saying everything's going to be okay.
So one thing I want to say about the government, I love this country. I love the U.S. government. It's not perfect, but for the most part, it is awesome. With that said, I don't think the government I don't think they know what to do. I don't think they know technology like we do, right? I just can't see it. However, I would say Trump is by far the closest, most up-to-date president that understands technology, because he's working directly with your Facebooks, your Googles, your Apples. Like he's working directly with these guys, right? Mark Zuckerberg and all these other dudes in tech, big tech companies. Excuse me. Trump works with them directly, so I think he's aware of what's going on. Everybody else, I just can't see it. They don't know what's going on. Government does not know what's going on. No way.
Do we as a society even understand the potential inequalities that this may amplify? And also the impact just on what, like I have little kids, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. What do they grow up aspiring to if machines can do pretty much everything better? What does it do to initiative or drive or striving? And I don't know the answer to that, but it concerns me.
Let's take those questions one by one. Those do concern me, but I do have thoughts on them. In terms of inequality, I'm worried about this. There's an inherent social contract in democracy where ultimately, the ordinary person has a certain amount of leverage because they're contributing to the economy. If that leverage goes away, then it's hard to make democracy. It's harder to make democracies work, and it's harder to prevent concentration of power. And so, we need to make sure that the ordinary person maintains economic leverage and has a way to make a living, or our society, our social contract won't work. And that's why I think it's important.
No, like I said, in today's world, and this may go beyond young people, I think in general, we will be forced to become entrepreneurs or something in terms of owning your own business. You're going to be forced to do this. All right? And I'm saying this because many jobs are going away. Yo, you can go to a clinic, right? There used to be a front desk person to sign you in. They'll sign you in and the doctor will come out and call your name. You go see the doctor or nurse or whatnot. The point is, that was someone's job, and now it's given to a kiosk. A machine is now signing you in. You put your license into the machine, and knows who you are, it signs you in. Just stuff like that is what I'm talking about. That was someone's job. A cashier at Burger King, McDonald's, or Taco Bell. A bunch of kiosks. Machines are now here to take your order and pay. Order and check out. That was someone's job a few years ago. It's going away. They don't need human beings for a lot of things anymore, and I don't really blame them. I mean, listen, having employees, and this is kind of off topic, employees are very expensive, right? Having or hiring help, hiring an employee is very expensive. I know this because my wife and I run a small business. We have employees. It's a lot of money to hire help. It's not cheap, let alone hire someone that is a software engineer or developer. Now they're asking for $80,000, maybe even 6 figures. Most jobs, most small companies don't have those types of funds to hire that person. We like, they can't afford them. It's too expensive. So let alone a machine is here now, and that can perform that person's job who was asking for 6 figures. That machine can perform your job, if not better than you. And this machine, it doesn't require any PTO, no sick time. You don't have to deal with them. It's just a machine 24/7. You can't blame a company for going that route. You just can't. So this is our future. Machines are the future. Automation, AI, we are here. It's not even the future. We are currently here right now, literally. So like I said, if I were you, the mindset is to have, well, to me, the mindset you should have is to start your own operations. I keep saying it's easier said than done. It is. But that should be the mindset moving forward. Start your own operations, basically multiple streams of income. Let's go.
During testing, your company's latest chatbot, Claude 4, was capable of what was described as extreme blackmail. Specifically, I understand it threatened to reveal an engineer's extramarital affair when it was told it would be taken offline and replaced. This was a simulation. Were you surprised by that? And what is that? I mean, that freaked me out when I read that. What does that mean?
Yeah, so just to be clear and to put this in context, I mean, this was, as you said, a behavior that emerged during kind of extreme testing of the model. So if you were to make an analogy to, cars, this is like, you deliberately put the car on the iciest road possible, you mess with the brakes, and, you do that so you can see if you really stress test the thing, you can, then you can make the crash dummy blow up.
Right.
So this isn't something that the model does in practice and actual usage, But the reason we stress test the models this way is, that's the best way to test for and prevent problems in the real world. So
right, icy roads do exist.
Yeah, no, but you know exactly. You want to turn every adversarial condition up to the max all at once.
Right.
And it's only by testing in that you get the model to not do that in the real world. So I wasn't surprised by these behaviors, but this is an example of how we have to be very careful in how we take control of AI systems.
I mean, does it? The obvious question is, does that portend AI becoming self-aware, and could that lead to dire consequences?
I certainly don't exclude the concept. We have a couple people who are actually working on this topic. But as crazy as it sounds, do AI systems have morally significant feelings? I would guess that they don't right now. But when you run an AI company, these crazy seeming questions are things that you study. So I would say this is probably not the case now. But again, the field is advancing so fast that I don't think you can exclude even crazy sounding things like this.
What are practical steps people should take to be prepared? I mean, ordinary citizens, me, lawmakers, what do you advise?
Yeah,
particularly lawmakers, I guess, really.
Yeah,
Can't
well,
save
let's
you.
take them one by one. I think for ordinary citizens, I think it's
Lawmakers cannot save you. I'm telling you, the government, it's awesome, but they cannot save you on this one. It's on you. Multiple streams of income. Do your own thing. They cannot save you.
It's very important, learn to use AI, learn to understand where the technology is going.
Exactly.
If you're not blindsided, you have a much better chance of adapting. There's some, better world, at least in the short term, at least for now, we should take it bit by bit where everyone learns to use AI better, and that's
You don't have a choice but to.
speeds up the adaptation that is definitely going to happen eventually, but it'll be less painful if it happens quickly. For the lawmakers, I would say really be aware of these issues, and we're trying very hard to produce data on the economic impact, not taking off the table some fairly radical notions. Like I wouldn't exclude the notion of levying a tax on AI companies, right? If AI creates huge total wealth, but a lot of that.
Anyway, listen, let me just end it right here. All I'm saying is, if I were you, start your own thing. You have to. You don't have a choice but to. AI is here to stay. It's here to stay. Companies are not going backwards but forward. No company is going to say, okay, we're going to just we'll just do right by the people and make more jobs for humans. No, they're competitors, right? Their competitors are using AI. They have to use AI too, because their competitors may be just a lot more profitable than them because they're using this technology. They don't have a choice but to use it. So do you. You have to use it. I say you have to. If you want to adapt with today's world, use today's tools, AI. You got to get involved. You have to. But that's just my opinion. But listen, thanks for watching this video. Hope it was entertaining and valuable. Hope you got some good information from it. Hope you benefit from this information. My name is Ario D. Juiced. Be sure to check out my website, juicytech.com. If you're looking to get into the tech field, check us out on juicytech.com. I'm on LinkedIn, IG, and TikTok. I post on those platforms daily. Feel free to reach out to me on those platforms. But everything will be in the bottom box below for more convenience. Excuse me. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Hope it helps you. Peace out. Thanks for watching.